Kirk Herbstreit's call of the Orange Bowl the other day was pretty riveting, I would say. And the one thing that he said after the game was that Georgia was prepared and angry. And we've heard this a lot. This sentiment a lot, generally speaking, about the dogs and how they had waited 3.5 weeks or so to come sort of get revenge or whatever you want to call it, play well. But Kirk talking about how they're well prepared and angry. Anger only is going to get you so far, right? I mean, you got to go out and execute. The preparation, we heard about that the whole week leading up to the game, that this was a Georgia team that, for folks that we saw, excuse me, that folks that we know that saw practices, was very, very ready to play. And I wonder if they feel like they let an opportunity slip, having lost to Alabama and Atlanta, and really a lackluster effort, looking back on it. That's the worst they've played in some time. Maybe, uh, I mean, I don't even know that they played that bad against the Gators in 2020. So it was something they had to live with and stew in for a while. Now, how much did that help them? Kirby, you could tell after the SEC championship game, was happy. Uh, I don't know how else to describe it, but he I guess knew that he would have his team's full attention the entire time. It's it was a moment in time where Georgia fans thought they could be done with Alabama forever. Looking this season, at least, looking back on it though, I don't know. Um, a two-loss Alabama probably does not get into the playoff, but there weren't a lot of teams stepping up to take that spot. I guess Notre Dame didn't play that weekend. It possibly could have been Notre Dame. Obviously, Oklahoma State lost their championship game, on a wild ending. And there was really only one spot besides Michigan, Georgia, and Cincinnati. So who that would have been, I really don't know. I think Notre Dame ended up the five. So would you rather play right now Notre Dame than Alabama? Yeah, it'd be an easier game, but this is a game Georgia, should win. Quite frankly, they're the better team, and all you have to do is go back and watch this past weekend's game, or the bulk of the season. I mean, Alabama has been so up and down this year that it's hard to, and Georgia's been so consistent that that's what leads me to say that they're the better team. But all that doesn't matter if you don't play well when you play Alabama, and they did not this past time. But Kirk's point, um, with them playing so well and being locked in, is that they were prepared. The anger part, I think, can be summed up by George Pickens' block, which is all over social media right now, with blocking a Michigan player and knocking him to the ground when they were up 27-3, and he just turned to the Michigan sideline and did, shh, and it's George, so he's going to be active. But I mean, if your best receiver is out there knocking guys back in run game up 24 or whatever it was, I think they had Kirby had George's attention the entire time. I'll say this though too, and I do this a lot. You better not be angry heading into this game. I mean, you need to. It's the preparation that matters the most. The anger can be motivation, but that goes away. These games are long. Um, from the time they start warming up until the game concludes, that's about 5 hours, maybe a little shorter than 5 hours. And it's hard to perform when you're mad for 5 hours. I think the biggest thing is the anger, and they only have themselves to blame. But the anger coming out of the SEC championship game, um, served as the getting the attention of the team. But it was the preparation that won them the Michigan game, and it's preparation and the talent. Georgia is probably slightly more talented than Alabama, maybe not by a lot, And if you want to say Alabama's more talented than the Dogs, I'm not really going to argue that much. I mean, these two teams are very similar on that front, but um, both sides are really they know the other is the second best team. You know, it's either them or that, or it's either Georgia or Alabama. They both know it, um, and this is going to be a real challenge for both teams. And the preparation that's going on in Athens right now, that's the important part. It's this stretch of time when Georgia would have all their walkthroughs and all of their real practices. You know, going into the Michigan game, the traditional Tuesday practice was one of Georgia's best of the season, according to someone that we know and trust. Um, you're going to need really good practices heading into this game, and Alabama will need it too. Anger will only get you so far. I do think that you know, the team that executes better will win. And the best way to execute is to prepare to execute. So this stretch of time right now is really important. I don't know if Alabama is angry. I don't get that impression. I mean, when we got a chance to talk to the Alabama players on Monday, um, they're, you know, Brian Robinson told reporters, sometimes we feel like the underdog. They're very gifted running back. And then Will Anderson, who grew up in Metro Atlanta, said, "We know everything to expect from Georgia." Um, I think Robinson said after the game after the Cotton Bowl that there was a reason why they were going to win the national championship again. So there's been a little bit more loose talk from Alabama this time than I've seen in the past. Sometimes that's because guys are nervous about what's coming. Sometimes it's because people are confident. I mean, you can't really ever totally know. But Kirk Herbstreit's, I think he was right. They were pissed off Georgia, and but they only had themselves to be angry with, and they're the practices have really, like, right now is the critical moment in these practices because it's like today is Tuesday, but in this would tomorrow is going to be the traditional Tuesday practice because of the fact that they're playing this game on a Monday. If my math might be a little bit off there, but um, now is the time to get it done in terms of preparation, and if you do so, you know, Georgia will win, and it feels more like this game is not about the national championship. It feels like this game is more about, you know, is Georgia finally going to beat Alabama, and the national championship just comes with it. We'll see. Hey, we'll see you over on the website dogpost.com. Thanks for listening and watching. We'll see you over on the website.